It's time for a change of aesthetics. I love that word, aesthetic. Don't really know what it means, but ooh, I do not like this. Moving vagabond from top left to bottom right. Bold. And I don't know what's going on down here anymore. Baka! Hey! Manga Tuesday. Hata! Hello, I'm Darcy Head, and welcome to Manga Tuesday, episode 77. We double 7'd up in this bitch. And today, as you can see holding in my hand and the title, today we'll be reviewing one of our fan favourite authors here, Naoki Urasawa's manga, titled Sneeze. So, for the rest of the recording, there were some audio issues. And the entire rest of the recording, 20 minutes or so of recording, the audio is completely fucking cooked. Nearly unlistenable and nearly completely unfixable, so it is just fucked up. And I can't fucking record this fucking shit, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to re-record parts of it just like this, holding the camera, filming my face. I might even try to redub some of the lines, and I'm going to try and try and clean up some of the audio in post, but it's fucking fucked. It's absolutely fucking fucked. So from this point on, I would recommend if you're listening with headphones to take them out, unplug them, and listen without headphones, because there's going to be parts of this where I couldn't do much fixing, and there's going to be a loud fucking staticky shit that is quite grating on the ears. So you've been warned. Now I gotta try and fucking spend hours trying to clean up this shit to make a fucking shitty fucking video that no one gives a fuck about anyway. Oh! It's already midnight. Maybe that troll review I should just leave up and make that the actual real episode. Anyway, I gotta go fucking try and fix this shit, and I want to kill myself. Love you. I started reading this about an hour ago, approximately, and I finished it about 10 minutes ago, approximately, so it's fresh in my brain, so this will be an in-depth, thorough review. A sneeze. A sudden expiration of breath, a short work as opposed to a long work. It can make even the most beautiful people look momentarily ugly. So yes, this is a short story collection. That is to say, it is a collection of stories of a shorter length. And as you could tell from that brief little intro inside the first page, none of the stories within the manga have anything to do with sneezing or anything of the like. Sneeze is just sort of it's a little more cryptic. It has an overarching meaning because sneezes are short and these are short stories. Not everything... Sorry, I got a bit of a cold. Not everything has to be so literal. Something that hack Junji Ito could be taking notes from Naoki Urasawa. When Junji Ito comes up with a manga, it's, oh, I can't think of any ideas for stories, so I'll just write about my cats doing cat things. What should I call it? I'll call it Junji Ito's Cat Diary. And then I'll release it in a deluxe hardcover special edition release format, re-released. How are you going to release a deluxe hardcover version of a manga so fucking thin? Sneeze is a short story collection. It's a collection of short stories. Junji Ito's Cat Diary is a short story. There's no collection, it's just a short story. Well, guess what? This manga has about 10 cat diaries in it, but all the stories are more interesting than Cat Diary anyway, because Naoki Urasawa is actually a true artist. Genius artist. at work. Please keep that in mind for the next award show when voting for Mangaka of the Year, and maybe next time you people will get the voting right. Naoki Urasawa has a pretty distinctive, unique art style. I feel like I've seen some mixed opinions about his art style, but I think it's great. It's a little more detailed, a little more real-worldy looking in a sense, less of that standard anime aesthetic. There's that word again, aesthetic, and more of, yeah, I guess a little more true to life looking ish-esque kind of, but in a uniquely Urasawa way. I think the first two stories were probably my favourite. I think they were the best, most unique and interesting, and really draw you in with his creative story concepts. Some dweeb who's gone massively into debt, rolling gachas, and his weird special friend named Damien with a wide-eyed stare that can, like, affect people telepathically. He can even kill people that approach some gangster mob guys to try and get some money so he can get out of debt. They're not even really the focus of the story. They're just sort of the driving force for the main character. Well, the second story about some hobo psychic guy who tells tells his whole future in a cryptic way, and then the mystery unfolds. All of the stories in this book were published over a long span of time. They were published, I think, some as early as 1995 and some as late as 2016, so it spans a wide range, and they're not in chronological order, they're just in, I don't know, whatever order. There is no seemingly order, just whatever order Mr. Naoki Urasawa decided. Towards the middle, there's a lot of stories about music and about some of his musical influences. Naoki Urasawa is a very passionate man when it comes to music, and that shines through in this manga in a few of the short stories. For those of you that don't know, we covered this in the Monster episode. For those of you who haven't seen that, anime has dubs, but in Japan, Western TV shows have Japanese dubs that air over there. But Western music in Japan also has Japanese dubs. And Naoki Urasawa is the Japanese dub for Bob Dylan. He even performs live concerts as just Bob Dylan. He's just branded as Bob Dylan. So most people in Japan think that Bob Dylan is just Naoki Urasawa, but the real fans know he's Japanese Bob Dylan. There is a very brief story in this manga that actually has the Jewish Bob Dylan, the actual authentic Bob Dylan in there. One of the musically themed stories isn't even really a story, it's more just like a diary of sorts of Naoki Urasawa's on a trip he took to LA and a music concert he went to and some musical icons that he met and spoke with and had experiences with. Now, when Naoki Urasawa does a diary about something somewhat mundane, he doesn't release it as its own individual release that is ridiculously thin. No, he just includes it as just an added-on extra as part of a larger collection of very interesting, intriguing stories, because he is a true master of his craft. Unlike that hack, Junji Ito. The penultimate story features a fat neckbeard weeb who studies so hard to learn the Japanese language so he can go to Japan to see a kaiju. And all of that's fine and dandy, but worst of all is he's French. Ugh. Luckily, he gets handily taken care of by a Japanese bureaucrat who ain't dealing with his shit. That fat French-Japanese weed neckbeard kaiju story is probably one of the longer of the short stories in this collection. But I tell you what, with that one, there is somewhat of a comedic twist ending. I don't know if I want to spoil it, but it was somewhat funny. I'm going to flash it on screen, just a picture of it out of context, so if you don't want to see spoilers, look away for the next 5 seconds starting from now. The fat neckbeard becomes a massive fucking fat kaiju himself in what was a pretty stark twist of tone. That story had a pretty serious tone, and it just has a ridiculous ending. that was actually made me chuckle internally slightly. Oh man, I forgot. I'm supposed to be like sneezing this whole review. I'll just get a bunch of sneezes in now in a massive long compilation. Achoo! 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 Choo. Okay, that's a fucking nothing. The very last story has actually been flipped. It was from left to you know what? No one gives a fuck about that. That'll just take too long to explain. I like the colour of the book. It's a nice a nice stark yellow. Also, most of the stories have a few colour pages at the start, so that's nice. Overall, I found it really good. You know, I would probably say my favourite mangaka is Kihoko Azuma, the writer of Azumanga Daioh and Yotsuba, because I fucking love those. He also wrote Wallaby. But Naoki Urasawa is definitely up there. I just need to read more of his stuff. I'm going to read 20th Century Boys very soon, now that I have it all. Just missing one volume still coming in the mail. And after I read that, you know, Naoki Urasawa is going to be knocking on the door of Kihoko Azuma saying, hey, if you don't start releasing more chapters of Yotsuba or something new, this guy might overtake you. So in conclusion, it was a very great manga, a very enjoyable read. Naoki Urasawa never fails to deliver. At best, at worst, I mean, his stories are always good. And at best, they are fucking phenomenal. And this is just a small little slight snippet. You know, some stories are better than others. Some stories are less stories and more of just little diary entries in manga form, but I really enjoyed the entire thing, and it's a nice short read. So for a rating, I would give it a 1.7, 2 out of 10. The Q&A, the Manga Tuesday Q&A is going to be next week. You got 1 week. Start getting questions in. We don't have enough. It might be cancelled, so get your questions in now. Just send them to me literally anywhere you can find me, and I will answer them. The Leo betrayal arc has some new updates. I'm going to try and keep it brief. We may discuss it more during the Q&A because that's going to be a long episode no matter what. But now, Leo has seen my video last week and now he has refollowed me on Twitter, but it's just, I'm getting mixed messages. He's sending me mixed signals. Somehow he forgets to refollow me. He follows like 180, 90 people before fucking, and he had to see the video to be reminded. If I got my Twitter deleted, he would easily be in the top 10 refollows. Probably, honestly, within my first 5 refollows. Okay, and I wasn't in his first 80, and he only saw because he saw a video, so did he actually want to even refollow us, or did the video just pressure him? But then, it's like, wait, but he saw the video. He was still subscribed to me. He saw it pretty quickly after it went up. Did he have notifications on? And he watched the video. It was towards the end of the video, so he watched the whole video. So he watched the entire thing. So I'm just getting mixed signals here. It doesn't make sense. He's gaslighting me. He's fucking with my head. It's very confusing. It doesn't make sense. These things don't add up. How do you just forget? But then you're still going to watch my entire video, a video that was long and boring and shit, like most of my videos, and you watch all the way to the end to see the part where I talk about it, and then so it doesn't make sense. But then even in the comment, he turned heel on one half of the Manga Tuesday fan base, and it's all just very confusing, and there is still a lot to unpack here. I'm pretty sure I'm definitely being gaslighted, but I'm not sure. So, we're going to look into it more, but I can't. I'm doing research, but we'll discuss it more next week. Anyways, I pray to the heavens above this episode is under 10 minutes. Achoo! That pretty much sums things up. Thanks for watching, and as always, achoo!
It's just another Tuesday. Tuesday. And if you were in for a spell, wear earphones to in order you can help them. Well, yeah. No.
Oh shit, fucking cunt fucker!